evening, everybody. You have no idea who I am. My name is Eric. I'm the director of the film you just saw. I really hope you enjoyed it. I couldn't have done it with my film partner, Chelsea Smith. Enough of that. Now to bring up the people you want to see, we're going to have a nice quiet Q&A with the founders of League of Heels, Aaron Trites and Eric Poe. Please have a seat. Yes, right. Directors.
Classy, this is like Sundance.
Classic Sundance.
Well, how are you two doing tonight?
This is surreal.
Better now. I'm doing better now than I was before the movie.
That's good. That's good. All right, let's go right into the questions.
Great.
Eric, Aaron, you started this league with humble ambitions, only to see it grow and flourish thanks to the many, many kind-hearted fans and warm-hearted individuals here tonight, and many watching at home, eventually. How does that make you feel?
Yeah, double for me. Just
it really was not anything we planned at all.
No, it was initially supposed to be just like me, Eric, and Alex Navarro, just playing games.
It was like, I actually have a pretty clear memory because it was when Alex still worked with us. We all worked together at Harmonix, and this was like 2009. And being like, this PAX, we go to PAX to work. Wouldn't it be fun if we could just play WrestleMania 2000? And then there was the argument of, well, what about No Mercy? It's a better game. It comes up a lot, even today when I mention this.
They have a bad Royal Rumble mode.
See?
You can only do Royal Rumble in multiples of 4 in No Mercy. And I wanted to do 30 people, so couldn't do that in No Mercy.
And then 5 years later, we're like, fuck it, let's submit a panel and see what happens.
Yeah, because we had initially talked about just doing it like in a hotel room after hours.
Yeah.
Like get 30 people together, which sounds like the creepiest nerd thing that you could possibly
I think PAX has had weirder orgies than that. I've seen the Craigslist. But anyway, and then it just has become such a huge burden.
Not for you.
No, for you. I don't help at all.
I think I asked Pope to get 4 Canadians together for a team.
I have so far gotten 1.
That was maybe a month ago.
Yeah.
So that's on me. So if you know any Canadians, I still need 2 for Saturday.
Canadians? There's a Canadian. Yes. Oh my God.
We're on the panel.
Oh my God. Deal. That was my plan all along. Just recruit them here. I'm sorry. That was a long answer.
That was a great answer. I forgot one thing.
Okay.
Why don't you keep talking, Tom?
You know what I was thinking while watching that was, holy shit, the first one was in 2014. It feels like it's been a decade. It feels like so long.
It's been 7 shows in 3 years so far. 4 Rumbles. This is the 3rd Paxomania on Saturday, and 1 Southern Slam. So this is going to be the 8th show on Saturday.
That's right. A little coda to the joke in the movies. This year we actually have a real good slot.
Yeah.
We're not Sunday. We're not first thing Sunday morning.
First time ever. Saturday from 4 to 6 p.m. Dragonfly Theater. If you're going to PAX.
Yeah. Which in a way makes me more nervous.
There's only so much you can do in editing. You say editing was a real bear.
I would say.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Patrick. I'm here in the Bear Cave. I'm gonna choose that this is currently the Bear Cave over here.
I really think this chair is breaking, Pat.
Yeah, I've been hearing backstage that chair might be breaking, Eric. That's why I wanted to come out here and just real quick check in. Are you feeling okay in that chair?
I'm feeling a little bit nervous that I'm going to break a chair in front of 500 people.
Ride it out.
All right, well, we'll keep checking in with you throughout the Q&A and see how that goes.
I'm going to try just not to shift my
Eric, you're doing great. Aaron, you're doing great.
Thanks, Patty.
Chair's okay?
Cheers.
Cheers, good.
All right, back to you.
Thank you. All right. There's the Bear Cave, everybody. All right, let's get to the next question here. Over the years, you have experienced firsthand the twists and turns that live, fake wrestling video game entertainment has brought. Were there any turning points that you did not see coming that changed the league forever?
Fog Machine definitely covered extensively in the movie. Absolutely did not see that happening.
I think the day that John Drake found how cheap it is to buy breakable glass.
Yeah, sure.
What was that? Oh my God, it's full! anything to say to the loving fans here?
Hey.
You don't seem your usual self. What's wrong?
It's been kind of a year, man.
Fair enough. Why don't you join the panel here? There you go. You can join. You can have my seat.
Do you want my chair?
Take a seat. You look like you need to take a load off. It's a working seat too.
Alex, how you doing in that chair?
It's all right.
Great, back to you, Eric.
So we'll just, no more interruptions. We'll just turn off the music here. We don't need any of that anymore. All right. Except for this one. My phone is ringing. Let's just see who that is real quick.
Eric, I know what that music is.
I don't know what's calling me.
I do. Eric, I'm here in the Bear Cave and I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Yeah, why did you call me if you're right outside? That makes no sense at all. These people, they never stop.
Eric,
How are you doing?
I'm really afraid more people are going to come out. Okay.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, I mean, Eric, I'm here in the Bear Cave and
Who's that man? Catch that man.
Hi, I'm renewed my manager's card for 2017. I'm Jeff Gerstman, talent manager, looking for talent. Right. And I haven't seen any in this documentary on this stage, but I figured maybe there's someone in the crowd, so I figured this would be good. Anyone looking to wrestle? I'm a guy.
cool.
Why don't you join the panel here, Jeff?
This is going perfect.
We can scooch everyone over, but all right. I think that's all of our interruptions. I mean, everyone's trained very hard here. We can't have any. Trin Garritano, the Trin train.
Choo-choo.
It's fun, literally Pee-wee's fucking playhouse.
Sit next to me. All right, great.
Perfect. Now we have all the panelists. We'll have to press one other button. Oh well. All right. How about we get to the questions here, folks? Get right.
Please do.
The Q part of the Q&A. Pat.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm here in the Bear Cave.
Pat Baer in the Bear
Ready
Cave.
to answer some questions.
There's a question for you here.
All right, excellent.
You're always interviewing everyone else, but no one interviews you.
No, that's true.
Care to let us in on what makes the Bear Cave feel like home to you? Such a comfortable place that you like staying in everywhere you go.
Well, as you know, anytime I've got a microphone and there's a camera pointed at me, we're in the Bear Cave. Bear Cave takes many shapes and sizes. My favorite thing about the Bear Cave is that makes it feel like home is when someone says something that I could not have foreseen. Like there's always like, oh, this person's going to do this, they're going to do that. But every once in a while, someone just pulls out something that's completely ridiculous, and then frisbees get thrown in the audience, and I did not expect that. Or a man has a bird on his shoulder, and I didn't know that was going to come. Or someone who I think is a very nice person swears and threatens to kill me. And it's like, oh. So in general, the element of surprise is the... What? No!
Oh, no.
No!
Very hostile.
You guys got the right idea.
Oh, man. Back to you, Eric.
Very hostile audience here. Speaking of hostility, Dan, Alex.
Hi.
Hi. There's been quite the tumultuous history between the two of you.
This is true.
Would you care to let us in on that feud? Where did it begin? Is it over?
We've kind of feuded since the moment I came into the league, which was, 2 years ago at this point, I think? I had just been hired at Giant Bomb, maybe 2.5 years ago. And can I tell the story about the first instance we had behind the scenes? This is a true story.
Sure.
Okay, we had kind of a bar night after a PAX thing, and I decided I wanted to practice... was it WrestleMania 2000 or was it No Mercy at the time? Whatever it was, Alex had brought a Nintendo 64. Okay.
It's a little different.
It's not, but anyway. I come back after some beers. I think some people in the audience were actually with me that night, and I wanted to practice. I knew he had the 64, and so I texted him because it was in his room and it was locked, and I was not able to get in, and he was out with some friends, and so, yes, go on.
I just want to emphasize, we're doing character. This really happened.
Yes. It very much.
This was like almost kind of a situation for a little
Yes.
bit.
But enough time has passed. So that's what he says.
That's not how anything works at all.
So I'm racking my brain trying to think of how to break into Alex's hotel room to get his Nintendo 64 so I can play the video game the day before this thing. And I told everyone I was with that, okay, I got an idea, this is going to work. And I changed out of my jeans into pajama pants, and I took my socks and shoes off. We were staying in the same hotel. I went down to the front desk of the hotel, and I said, oh, hey, I'm an idiot. I came out to get some ice. I think I actually carried the little ice bucket with me for this stunt. And I said, I need to get back in my room. I don't have my wallet. I don't have my card. I'm sorry. I feel like such a dipshit about this. And they're like, okay, no problem. What's your name? Alex Navarro. My name is Alex Navarro.
Oh,
No problem, Mr. Navarro. They give me a card. I break into Alex's hotel room. I steal the Nintendo 64, and I show back up in the room with it. And Alex, you weren't too happy about that.
No, I was not.
That's what a serial killer does, Dan.
I'm an opportunist. I'm not a serial killer.
I mean, it's a good scam. It worked. It's a good scam. It's just, that's your coworker. Your newly coworker.
It was like 2 months in, yeah.
As someone who actually manages both of them, I was worried briefly. I mean, you know, I was actually worried for a little bit. Like, this seems like something that could be very bad for a very long time over the dumbest shit imaginable. I think this was also the year that you guys practiced hitting each other with kendo sticks in the room, which I put the video up on giantbomb.com.
Premium.
Premium only, of course. It's good paid content. And yeah.
But we're good now. The moral of the story is we're good now. We're good friends. I've known Alex for years. He's a great guy. That's starting to hurt. Oh, okay. You're a good guy.
I did want to the bit in the movie about Dan like joking about how he doesn't know to hit people fake. Like he does not know how to do fake hits.
The thought is I've watched wrestling for a long time.
He's more dangerous than someone who hasn't watched wrestling and doesn't know how to
because I've got the confidence, but I'm also stupid. So people get hurt that way.
So he like legit bruised Greg Miller's rib. Was it broken or bruised?
I think it might have been bruised. I sent him a lot of Oreos as an apology.
The Kendo Sticks.
Yes.
After the Kendo Sticks thing, I was like, Alex, can I just look under your shirt? It's a thing Alex and I do. And legit welts all over his back. He's like, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
I was fine like a day later, but still.
It's gotta look real.
So yeah. Don't ever go into a pact with Dan where he's going to quote unquote hit you, because he will hit you.
That was before I was a legitimate worker, so now I know what I'm doing.
Everything's better now.
Yeah, I'm fine now.
I literally cannot watch that clip of you elbowing Greg.
It's a terrible elbow
Close
drop.
my eyes every time.
People may have heard me.
It was a nightmare.
People may have heard me yell in the back of the house the first time you showed that footage, because it just makes me so angry. Hey, you know what? Let's peek behind the curtain on this one. I send an email out. Aaron forwards an email that has like some Pat Baer like safety tips, because we always have new people that have never done it before that might not know. They're like, oh, I want to do some wrestling, and it literally says like just like in it how to do an elbow drop where you don't hurt either person is a thing that I describe. And also, like, you know,
it's a 15-point bullet list. Like it is not just like a hey, don't hurt people thing. It's like it is very comprehensive. Like you need to buy cookie sheets. I know where you can get cookie sheets. You want to do a low blow? Pat's your guy. Talk to Pat for low blows.
There's just like a lot of stuff you can do that looks physically impressive to people that won't hurt the other person, and then we don't get to do it anymore. That's the thing. Like a different person that you bruise their rib, and then we don't get to do this anymore.
Just pointing out, Pat is the one responsible for the fog machine.
Yeah, also, yes. Yes.
Yeah, let's think there. Yeah, Pat, what were you thinking?
Yes, thank you.
Geez, that's really irresponsible.
I poorly operated a fog machine, and then we had to evacuate.
All right. I was not invited to be part of this panel.
Rich Gallup, everybody.
I was not invited to be part of this panel, but there's a key part of this fog machine that is not known.
Okay.
And I was near the end of the line in the tunnel there, and I say, these are smoke detectors. We're in trouble. And John Drake says, no, don't worry. This is fog, not smoke. Thank you. Good night.
This is 100% true. He did say
Gallup,
this.
everybody.
I tried to stop it.
They're not smoke detectors. It's a whole thing. The alarms.
It was John Drake's fault. No one on the stage has any fault at all in the fog machine incident. It was John Drake's fault.
Multiple people told me after, yeah, the smoke started, the fog started coming through, and I should have said something. I think 15 people told me they were almost ready to just tell me to stop using it, and then
So I, Rich Gallup, said something.
Yeah.
But the problem was I said it to John Drake.
Yeah.
It's not about telling someone, it's about telling the right someone.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we cleared a ballroom, and then we got to do it again.
Yeah.
That's the real takeaway from this is as Aaron said, we legitimately keep falling up.
Yeah, failing upwards.
Yeah, failing upwards, whatever.
But in the fog machine thing, for the dramatization, it costs $7 Canadian to rent a fog machine full of fog juice. That's so cheap, and they let anyone rent one of those.
Yeah.
I filled my backyard with fog. Yeah, it was sweet. Got some cool
They're
shots
pretty
of it.
cool, guys. They're pretty cool devices.
pretty cool.
I've used them safely in the past.
They're small and portable. You could bring them to a panel or...
Don't.
I had one at my wedding, and I was worried.
Hell yeah.
They're like, fog machine, I don't have a great experience with fog machines. It's fine.
I mean, just open air spaces. That's all you need.
True. Moving on to the next
Back to you, Eric.
cue. Man, get a big bang for your buck with these guys. All right, Trin, I got a question for you.
Oh, gosh.
The
Hi.
very same. Hi. Your troubles with controls are well documented.
Yeah.
How do you see yourself overcoming this obstacle on the way to the top?
Well, see, listen, I work in tabletop games, and so what I'm hoping in the future is to just stick to paper kinds of games, nothing that requires me to use my thumbs. So I'm hoping that they'll take my feedback in the next PAX Rumble, and I'll be able to do that.
That sounds fantastic.
Thanks.
Maybe you could speak to the man on the end right there, and he'll...
The controls are garbage.
He made the game.
They're the greatest
not
wrestling games of all time. How dare you?
Both of those things can be true, though.
Yeah, all right.
Aaron, question for you. From Dr. Tracksuit, who isn't here tonight, the Wolf, Dirty Dan, the Trin Train, and so many others, how did you arrange all these massive personalities into one room and one league? I might say that is a feat of a giant.
Oh, God. Dumb luck, mostly. Eric Pope, second. He does not do much for the show, if we're being honest. But Pope has been absolutely instrumental with invites. He's reached out to a ton of people. He's helped, especially for the early shows. Pope and John Drake helped assemble most of the folks in the show. And at this point, it's now gathered enough momentum that not only do I know enough folks in the gaming industry or in these weird tertiary groups where it's we'll get improv comics and we'll get actual real wrestling people. It's now gotten enough momentum that people are asking me to be part of the show. People are reaching out to me and introducing themselves to me hey, you don't know me, but I do X, Y, and Z in the gaming industry. How can I hit someone with a chair in your show? And I dial it down real quick and I say, we'll put you in the Rumble, it's gonna be fine. And then just hope that they get thrown out immediately. But it's awesome that it's now a big enough thing that people are excited about it and that people are now approaching me because it takes a lot of work off my plate.
I have one story about one person on this panel about how they got here, and it's you. Yes. So, I don't know if you know what is this the story? I don't know if it's a story I've told. Anyway, I think before I met you and knew you, I knew Max Temkin, Cards Against Humanity. And so, like you said, we're kind of just getting people together that we knew that we thought would be funny to put on a show. So I was like, Max, I was so excited. I was like, we got this idea. We're going to do this fake wrestling thing with video games, and we want you to be a part. There's 30 other people, 29 other people. And he's like, no, wrestling's stupid. I'm not going to do that. And he wasn't making a joke. I'm like, oh, okay, this is before I knew what kind of a guy Max is. So I'm like, well, all right, fine. And I was like, wait. Trin works with you, and she's awesome, so I'm going to ask her. And she's one of the best characters and people that we have in the show. So That's how that happened. By Max just being like, I don't want to do that.
Well, so the truth is, Max didn't want to wake up that early on a Sunday, so he asked me to do it, and I legitimately thought I'd be physically wrestling people until I walked into the room, and I was like, these guys are all nerds. They don't want to throw me. It'll be fine. So I showed up, and I'm glad I said yes. Thank you for inviting me.
Kind of on the point with Max. There's someone, and it's probably out of turn for me to say who it is. There's someone who's interviewed in this documentary that when asked originally to be part of our league, responded, I don't like wrestling and I don't like wrestling culture. And then a year later, we were like, ask them again? And they said, oh yeah, that'll be really fun. And they've been in like 3 things with us. But I think that's the for me anyway, the part it's like, I grew up loving wrestling. I still love wrestling. I'm one of those guys. Yeah. But
give it up for wrestling, everybody.
We have fans who don't like wrestling, and we have fans who don't like. But I also enjoy that we have fans who don't like PAX, who are like, no, I like you guys. And then we have people who think that League of Heels is their favorite thing at the Penny Arcade Expo, and that makes me really happy because it's a lot of work for Aaron and some work for other people. But I never thought that I'd be part of something that was a cool thing for people to do and come to see, and it's So it makes me happy when people who are like, I don't want to do that, and then they see it and they're like, oh no, that's fun. Never mind. Please let me do it.
Yeah, totally. I have since asked Max, and he's still like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah. He's come to it, which I appreciate.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everyone. Jeff, a question for you. Thank you, Dan. As manager or former manager of Dr. Tracksuit, you must know what to look for in strong talent. You must know what to look for in strong talent. Are there any notes you would give the fellow panelists to make them good enough to be one of your clients?
Oh, well, if someone wants to be good enough to be one of my clients, there's a certain spark that people have, that I think that really makes them stand out. And for me, it's a good mix of complete chaotic violence and the thought that maybe they might actually murder someone, but also sort of lovable. And potentially kind of just can cross that gap and like a 4-quadrant kind of character. They're going to appeal to multiple demos and do all that sort of stuff. So you're out. I don't even know what your deal is. Yeah, okay. You guys are announcers. I mean, you kind of got your own thing going on. I mean, honestly, I think Trin really is kind of the only person in the league today that I think would be able to kind of match a Dr. Tracksuit. Yeah. Just don't do drugs. Just don't do drugs. That goes for all you out here. Just don't do drugs.
Good note for all. Pope, how's Canada treating our favorite color commentary announcer?
Oh my God! Without hyperbole, Canada is the best place I've ever lived.
Woo!
It's amazing. It is amazing.
Damn right.
Eric's he's also from Canada, so that's.
I have a son who is a Canadian. That's true. One of which is a Canadian. No, that's fine. We don't hit in Canada, but it's okay that you did it. It's the best. They understand caring for each other. They understand. It's just a great, positive place to live.
That's
and I'm in Quebec, which is also like its own country within a country, which has its own the politics I'm absorbing. Because there's French politics and the English politics and their history. It's fascinating.
It is.
Pamplemousse is my favorite word that I've learned since I moved. It means grapefruit. Pamplemousse.
We're good. I guess a half follow-up question, maybe a little quickie. Does Ubisoft know you're here? Do they care? Did you have to run away from building or helping them on the floor?
They sort of know. Pass. I'm going to pass.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Hello, eventually.
Hold on here. Let's move forward. I guess referring to something you said a little bit earlier, Jeff, this is a question for Tracksuit, but maybe you can enlighten us. Maybe.
I worked with him for a good long time before he became an actual doctor. I don't know.
Yeah.
When I met him, he was a monstrosity. I don't, you know. But
So he's. What's always struck me about Dr. Tracksuit, he's always so full of energy.
yeah.
What fuels this man? What keeps him so full of life?
Wow, you know, I think he's just got a real zest for, you know, just his business, what he does, and I think I'd like to think that carries him in his family practice in Fresno, California today. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really seen him around. He was, you know, I saw him last PAX, and I don't know what's been going on. Like someone, I follow him on Twitter. Someone sent him a pair of sunglasses that were broken, and I hope that nothing bad happens to him. I hope that no one is trying to drag the monster back out of Dr. Tracksuit, because that just Tracksway, because no one needs that. We're past that. We need to be about peace. We need to be about understanding and fair competition. And that guy, when he is full of zest, as we might say, it's like David Lee Roth and an army tank mixed into one thing. Only there's just white powder firing out of the cannon constantly.
Weird.
Yeah, and I don't know what that's about, but it's just he's a frightening, frightening man. And you know, I almost died multiple times by being his manager. So for his, you know, the highs were high,
One could say.
but the lows were very low as well. So I feel like I am at least safer now. But I'm also broke.
Can't have everything.
Yeah.
All right, this is a one for the panel now. Of all the championship holders, past and present, who would the panel agree was or is the best?
Samantha.
I think it's probably me, right, Alex? Is that what you were about to say? Kind of answered that one a little quick, didn't you?
Your hair's very pretty.
I'll take it.
I'll say that Alex earned it. Alex legitimately earned that title, slugged it out in the first Rumble, won it clean. Can't ever take that away from him. Samantha had the best story, I think. Like that rags to riches, that arc for her was absolutely fantastic. Austin, though, Austin's got a ton of potential. Nowhere to go but up for that guy. So I'm going to say I love all my champions equally.
Yeah, I'm a Professor Killer guy myself. That's Austin, if you don't know that.
I really appreciate how Amaris never touched the game until she showed up at PAX South, and unlike me, did really well and figured it out. So if I did not pick Samantha, who is part of the Indie Love Coalition, who I am a part of, thanks Rich Gallup, then I would say Amaris, because that is just magical.
I would say it was probably me. A lot of people don't know this because it was untelevised. But remember when Diesel beat Bob Backlund at Madison Square Garden in '94?
It's not canon.
For the title, and he held it for like all of '95, pretty much. That was what happened. So I actually did beat Alex right after that Rumble where we fought at that PAX Mania, and I held it for months. It was a great untelevised, dark match for the marks out here. But yeah, I held the title for a long time. I know these folks don't like to acknowledge it, but I would like you all to know that it happened. And I thought I did a good job. So, you know, I'll toot my own horn here. I don't have a problem with that. So I'll say me.
Fascinating.
LeagueOfHeels.com. It's got the full roster. It's got the full title history. If it's not on LeagueOfHeels.com, it's not real.
Yeah. I like Austin a lot. I like the way... I like the way he has built his character. I like all of his nicknames. They are all so damn good. This is an operation that really rewards a great talker, and I think there are a lot of them involved in this mess. And I appreciate appreciate where his character is at. I think it's a fantastic addition to the league.
When that first Austin promo hit,
yeah.
and he drops like Karl Marx Zuckerberg, I just about died, and it only kept going up from there. Like it was first nickname, first promo, and I was sold. I was on board.
Yeah.
I mean, all our champions are excellent at the game, which is a rare thing for this league. and in their own different ways have characters that have done really well. You can't give it up enough for Alex for like legitimately like coming in and playing the game well and having a character in that first show where most people were like me, just being like, I don't know, I'm going to throw some gear on and say a thing. I'm just happy to be here. But Alex had like a plan and a strategy and also colluded when no one else had thought to do that.
I mean, to be fair,
coming back because I want to talk about that strategy.
I'm in the Bear
I want to talk about that strategy.
This has been my year.
I'm here in the Bear Cave with Rich.
All right, so here's what happened. They practiced with my copy of WrestleMania 2000 in Alex's hotel room, and I said, all right, so we're like a team tomorrow, right? And Alex was like, I kind of have a thing going. I was like, you do? All right. And then like just before it started, Dave Lang like came over to me and Jeff, and he's like, all right, so we get at the end of this, we're in this together. And I was like, okay, but none of them made it. I got a really late draw, and I was in there with Alex and Samantha. I was like, all right. I'm sitting next to Alex, and he just starts banging on me. I was like, Alex, that's me, dude. I was like, that's me. You're beating me up. Stop it. Like, I was your training partner. I helped you with this. And he doesn't even make eye contact. He doesn't acknowledge me. And him and Samantha just take me out cold. And obviously, the next thing, I just had to become Samantha's manager because that's the only way I was going to be able to stay involved. But anyway, so like, yeah, Alex had help, but he definitely had a plan, and that plan was mean.
Yeah, so the backstory behind that is that I actually made that deal with 4 different people.
Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I wasn't even number 5. I couldn't even get in there.
Well, you were one of the 4, but I'm saying is that I had collusion with a number of people, and Samantha was the only one I took it even remotely seriously with, because fuck all those other people. But
I'm gonna walk away.
Yeah, no, that's the right move.
So smart. I love it.
And to be fair, Pat, I just wanted to clarify. The character I had in that first Rumble was I put a mask on and I yelled. Like, it wasn't really a plan. Like, the plan was collusion and all that, but I had no real character. I got up on that podium at the end, and I was just like, I didn't think of anything to say because I didn't think I was going to win this. And so I think I just threw out like an Ultimate Warrior line, and it kind of went from there.
I do love how much of like just throwaway lines from commentary have stuck with so many characters. Like, I think Pope and I called you the Wolf in the first Rumble because that was like the Wolf in the morning. Like, that was the bit that you were working with Giant Bomb at the time. And like Dan, because he was such a shit, we kept calling him Dirty Dan. And like that, so much of that.
I think I gave him Dirty Dan. I think that was me.
And so much of that just became characters in the show.
And then other times people were like, oh, I have a character, it's this. And you're like, what is that? And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah,
just please repeat it when I get there.
Like really elaborate, like, so I'm gonna be like Sting, like WCW Sting, like descending from the rafters, but I'm just gonna be hanging out in the back of the show, so you're not gonna see me for the whole match. And it's like, well, no one's gonna get that gimmick at all, but yeah, more power to you. Like, work it.
Fantastic.
It's good.
Thank you.
By the way, my favorite champion was me. Since I get to say it earlier.
Fair enough. All right. Speaking of the league at large, could VR ever be used to bridge the gap between video game wrestling and real wrestling in the league?
That is a gap best left as it is. We do not need to bridge that gap.
I have definitely pushed. There was some VR wrestling game where you had to make wrestlers kiss each other. And I've tried desperately to make that work, and as of yet, it has not happened, but fingers crossed.
I mean, VR fighting is incredibly dangerous, as Vinny Caravello knows. And we're already way too dangerous. We're already way too dangerous with just an N64 video game. The idea of putting goggles on people. Just, oh, God.
Expensive goggles.
The expensive goggles that we're borrowing from some developer, and then we're going to do that. No. Please no.
We've never broken any hardware. That N64 is my childhood Nintendo 64, and it is rock solid.
USB adapters, though. We've broken several USB adapters.
I don't count those.
Did they ever work to begin with?
I think yes. Oh, that's the other thing. I'll say this. Everything works before we start, except for the last Rumble where I fucked up. Everything works before and then fails during. The last Rumble's my fault. I got asked to set up that Rumble and I did not do it right. At all. We had to restart. there was a video and someone got eliminated and we'd start over.
No, that was me, and I never got eliminated because what was the deal? Like you turned off ring out?
You were declared that you were eliminated. Whatever, who cares?
Pat just
I'm technically still in that Rumble.
I set up a 4-player match instead of the Rumble.
Yes.
I hope one day you win.
Whoa.
I'd like to refer you to my dark match victory. It happened.
Boy can dream. All right. I guess going off Pat, when are we going to see Breaking Glass come back? I know everyone's wanting it. Any other stunts in the works to put the superstar's body on the line for the sake of entertainment?
We outlawed the glass because everyone would leave and Aaron and I would have to clean that shit up. And that sucked.
Drew that first year with the vacuum cleaner cleaning.
Where did he find a vacuum cleaner in the middle of PAX? Rest in peace, Drew.
Big ups to Drew Scanlon. Found a vacuum. Was not part of the show.
No, he wasn't.
Was not part of the show. Just showed up and helped clean after. And especially after we got like blood on a tablecloth. Just like, God damn it.
So my one run-in with breakable glass. So the thing you don't know about breakable glass is it's not just breakable, it's shatterable. So when you bite a beer bottle and smash it on someone's head, what happens in your mouth is very distracting. So I support the ban, and so does my poor little scarred mouth.
And my favorite, my favorite thing is there's always a panel after ours, and it's some dumb game bullshit, and they'll come in. And they'll be like, they will have no idea what just happened. And like, there's blood, there's a bunch of people in costumes, it's 10 in the morning, and there's glass everywhere. It's the best.
It's always social media people for a mid-tier publisher who are excited that anyone's coming to their panel, and they walk in and there's like 30 people wearing American flags, like standing around cake and broken glass.
Oh, it's the best.
So that's a decent enough segue from the sugar glass to the actual glass that some of the folks have on stage. If you could hold your labels up high so that people can see the Hopsomania that Andy's made for us. Andy homebrews his own beer.
Thank you.
And he made custom brews for this screening, which was absolutely amazing of him. Turn on the stout.
Turn on the stout machine is good. It's good. It's very good. Could not pick an organization with less not like. I don't know how to put this. Oh, nobody who runs this thing drinks. So thanks.
A bunch of straight edge dorks.
A bunch of straight edge dorks run this league. It's the perfect show for custom beer.
Andy volunteered to bring a bunch of beer, and I was like, well, I don't drink, and Pat doesn't drink, and Chelsea doesn't drink, and Pope's allergic, but I was like, Dan's going to be here. Just bring as much as you want. Dan will take care of it.
Dan, you want one? Yeah, sure. There you go.
It's a stout machine.
Yeah. Gift to you.
It's very good.
Well, that's great. I guess getting back to the feud.
King of the transitions.
This is a real...
What a first impression. All right. Feuds have plagued the league, but as of right now, most have died down or disappeared for whatever reason. Do any of you foresee any future ongoing battles between specific superstars?
Yes.
Good answer.
No, that's it.
Support that answer.
I mean, there's so many stories that haven't like finished. They haven't like told their tale. There's redemption arcs that we haven't seen yet. There's new people clamoring. There are theoretically at some point we could have people who were former champions have rematch clauses. We don't have that now, but we could at any point. And people hate people in this league pretty consistently.
The sky is the limit, Pat.
Yeah. There's so many places.
Anything can happen in the League of Heels.
And who knows what's going to happen on Saturday at 4:00 in the Dragonfly Theater.
Do you guys Pat? Are you setting me up to announce the lineup of the show?
I'm setting you up to at least tell some people to come on Saturday, and maybe you can say some stuff about what's going to be.
Don't come to the. It's a bad. You've seen it. It's a bad show.
No.
Don't come to the show.
All right, fine. I'm doing this now. Everybody's like, "Oh, it sucks," but you should still go. It's good and fun, and you're right to enjoy it. It's a good, fun time. It is riddled with problems that we solve somehow. It is a testament to miracles, and it is good and fun.
Like a field of dreams.
It is, yeah.
For just
it is
broken
many,
old wrestlers.
Many tiny field of dreams.
All right,
But,
so I'll set up some of the matches that we have going on at the show on Saturday. We haven't announced hardly any participants. Have not announced the structure of any matches because we are wildly disorganized. So on Saturday we've got 4 matches. We're kicking off with a rookie team versus a team of veterans. Again, a bunch of first timers. We got Alex Verret from Big Boy PR. He's going to be one to watch. He's a giant.
He's going to be your new favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, that dude rules. I met him last year.
Carnival Barker. Eric Chan will be joining us. Eric Chan from the Indie Mega Booth. Tanya Short is going to be there. And Zoe Quinn we're expecting for the first time.
We've asked since the very first one.
This is the third time she's accepted.
Yeah. We've asked Zoe since the very first one to do it, and some stuff happened in her
Always
life,
good reasons.
And that's why she hasn't.
So I hope she goes as the social justice warrior, like the ultimate warrior. That would be the best thing in the whole world, and I hope she does. Okay.
So they'll be facing a team of veterans comprised of Dave Lang, one D. Leasy. You're right to boo him. Rich Gallup. Yeah.
I haven't seen him all night. They knew you were here. They knew you were here.
Alexa Ray Correa and one Dr. Tracksuit rounding out that team of veterans.
No.
Tracksuit.
Oh, no.
So that's rookies versus veterans on our opening match. Second match, Team Canada versus Team NYC. Team Canada helmed by Eric Pope, joined by Alex Zandra. Canadian Dan Ryckert on that team.
Is he here yet? I think he's flying in, right?
I believe he is coming in, yes.
He seems really nice. I've been DMing with him. He seems very nice.
Yep.
Yeah, I like him a lot better than you.
And then also another...
I saw on Twitter that they were making him like show his phone and do all this stuff to get into the country. It was weird.
Makes sense.
That's how it goes.
I hope it works out.
And then another Canadian TBD. And then Team NYC, helmed by Sean Allen from Treachery and Beatdown City. Danica Harrod from Waypoint. The venerable Pat Baer is going to be joining that team.
I'm back. Woo! Playing video games again.
Back in the ring.
And also an anonymous New Yorker will be joining that team as well.
Cool. Thought I was going to
Just so it's clear, when he says anonymous, that means we haven't fully
I thought I was figured out who's on my team. All right, cool.
And then for the third match, we've got Team Tabletop versus a mystery team. Team Tabletop, captained by our very own Trin Garritano. She'll be joined by Maya Coleman of Secret Hitler. And Stephen Bailey from Billionaire Banshee. Good man. And the mystery team, we don't know who that is yet, and it's definitely not because we haven't booked that team.
Let's just workshop it here. What's the opposite of tabletop?
LARPing, right?
So like a Newgrounds sort of browser-based game? Undertable.
I like VR.
VR? There's lots of those fucking guys. Lots of VR devs. Half the people in this room probably work for a VR company. Anyway,
how about I'll give the crowd a little we'll part the kimono a little bit, give them a little peek. Pope's favorite business term. We were supposed to have a team of legitimate indie wrestlers who we had tentatively booked,
and good ones too.
Great ones.
Not just like these guys. They were going to be cool dudes.
And the person who had contacted them on my behalf did not represent to them, one, that it was not a real wrestling show. Two, that it was in Boston. They're all in Philadelphia. And three, that it's not a paying gig. So once they realized it was going to be a 10-hour round trip to face a team of tabletop developers, they said, no, we're out. They pulled out. So rightfully so.
Yeah, they're not wrong.
No. And then in our main event, we've got Team Revolution versus Team Establishment. Team Revolution is Austin Walker and Danielle Riendeau, Dr. Payne Love. And they'll be facing off against John Drake and Andrea Renee, Johnny Cashanova, and The Bank. So we have some absolute barn burners lined up and some TBD professionals who will definitely make the show even better.
I'm glad we did this because this is the most prepared I've been for a show now. Now that I actually know what's happening, that's great.
But guys, you didn't. I'm not on the card.
We were not expecting. We weren't expecting Alex to be here.
Well, no, you told me to be here for the wrestling show. That's why. Why else? Why the fuck else would I come to Boston?
I mean, you're a New Yorker. That could work.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. We'll find a home for you. You're here. You made the trip. We'll find a spot for you.
Oh, gee, thanks.
The least I can do, champ.
I told you never to call me that.
Trin, did you want to say something?
Oh, not anymore.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Okay.
All right, I think that wraps up the Q&A session of this evening.
Okay. Thank you, person vaguely associated with us who claps.
Thank you.
Thank you, maybe Alexandra, who was the person clapping.
Yes, Alexandra is in the back with her amazing merch.
Merch boss.
Yes.
And the merchador.
I wanted to ask a question to those two people who said they had no idea what.
Yeah.
Are you still here? Yeah. So what is your thought?
It's Holly's fault.
Okay, that's good. Okay, great.
Yeah. Did you like it? 16 hours in a car for this?
Yes.
Okay, I mean, yeah. Granted. Sure.
I'm going to put that one in the box.
Any questions? That pretty much cleared it all up, right?
Why is a great question.
No. Because now, as true as it was for the very first show, I love seeing my friends. And so as long as these chuckleheads keep showing up, I will keep booking matches.
I mean, like PAX is like has this summer camp vibe of you kind of get everybody together once or twice a year, and it's like people that like we don't really get to see all that frequently. So like, yeah, that ability to just kind of like, okay, well, I know in this one place I'm going to see a lot of the people that I came into town to see. And that's, I mean, that for me is actually the coolest part about coming to PAX now is doing this. So, yeah.
And also sometimes friends of ours come to the panel just to, they're like, oh, that's a place I know a bunch of my friends will be at, which is also how we've been able to book some of our performers because they were just like, oh yeah, I went to that to see so-and-so. I was like, oh yeah, I'll do that. It is nice to be able to track down your friends in one location. So please keep coming so we can keep doing it.
There you go. If anything can be said about PAX, it's about friendship. And on that note, is that everything? Anyone else have anything to say?
Thank you, Eric and Chelsea.
Yeah,
that was
so
absolutely exceeded all of my expectations, and it made the show look so much better than it actually is.
We did what we can. There was a lot of Vaseline on the lenses, that sort of thing. Everyone was very beautiful, but.
Thank you to Ned and the Brattle for letting us come in.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Some people remember Rock Band Night here as the pre-PAX thing, and then when that stopped, there wasn't a pre-PAX thing that people could go to, and it felt, I know, right? It felt really awesome to be able to say, oh, hey, a thing I'm in is the pre-PAX thing. Come to that.
Is Ned still in the room, or did Ned leave? I wouldn't blame him at all.
There he is.
Hey, Ned. How much time do we have, Ned? Are we already over? Do you want to start Body Slam?
Oh, we're over time.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, let's start Body Slam then. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna start Body Slam. It's gonna be awesome.
Another round of applause for the panelists. Thank you, everyone, for watching the film.